Sugar stocks, Suyash, talk to us what's happening in the sugar sector.
Yes, as Avinash rightly pointed out, sugar stocks had been trending today, and actually they rallied as much as 10% in today's session, with many marquee players posting strong returns. Now, this is on the back of the world's largest sugar trader, Avlean, saying that it expects a shortage in the supply of sugar. Now, Avlean is saying that global markets will face a 5.4 million metric deficit of sugar in the coming season. Now, this will be the sixth straight year where we'll see a shortage in sugar supply. Now, what will happen is, when there is a supply squeeze, the prices rise, and this bodes well for the sugar stocks, and as a result many of the sugar stocks were trading in the positive today. As you can see, Dalmia Sugar was up about 5.65% in today's trade. EID parried, rallied about 8%. Uttam Sugar Mills also posted a 5% gain in today's session. Balrampur Chini, Bajaj Hindustan rallied about 2 to 3%.
Right, sugar stocks sweetening further. Avinash, talk to us. A global sugar supply shortage is what is expected at a time when everybody is talking about cutting out sugar from their consumption habits completely. I thought that would impact the sector, but clearly there are bigger issues at play over here.
I think, as Suyash rightly pointed out, I think sugar prices have been started rising globally, and I think that is definitely going to be positive news for most of the larger, sugar companies here. But I think additionally, to counter this point, one should understand that whenever crude prices go up, the government has been focusing on increasing the blending ratio of ethanol in petrol, and I think this is going to be around 20% by FY25. We have been also hearing reports that possibly the government could hike up the ethanol prices by about 4 to 5 rupees per liter. So I think both sugar and ethanol would now make more money, and obviously ethanol being a byproduct obviously makes a bigger contribution in terms of the overall gross contribution. Our sense is that if sugar prices go up, I think that would be a big positive for the companies, provided the government doesn't come in and impose some controls. In India, I think despite the fact that the sector is deregulated, Indian companies don't have the liberty to increase sugar prices that frequently. So I think it's going to be a balanced kind of a picture going forward. But overall, I think today's move is clearly a reflection that higher sugar prices would mean that both sugar and ethanol would make a decent amount of money. And I think one should look at the larger players here, Krishna. Typically something like a Balrampur Chini or a Dhampur Sugar, Dhampur Bioorganics, or typically, even typically larger players like Renuka Sugar, which has a large sugar as well as ethanol capacity.
Right.
Now, let's move back to the FMCG sector again. Now, the expectation, as you said, sugar prices may not rise as much, but the crude prices are rising. Now, will the FMCG products become more expensive, or do you expect that they would not go through price hikes, and maybe their profitability will take a hit?
Also, this dilemma of prices is coming at a time when the festive season is on the threshold of festive season, not the best of time to hike prices, is it?
No, I think increasing prices would be the last thing on the minds of most of the FMCG companies, because as everyone is aware, most of the FMCG companies bet on the volume growth kind of metrics. And I think volume growth is definitely expected to be much stronger if, obviously monsoons are good, rural demand would pick up. And I think pricing wise, I think if the crude prices do go up, Suyash, then I think you could definitely find EBITDA margins coming under pressure. I think the FMCG companies have no choice. The festive season, they would not make kind of a mistake of increasing prices significantly, because price is very sensitive. Demand is very sensitive to prices. And to that extent, it's going to be only the volume growth trigger which is going to play positively for these companies. So I think September to December is going to be a period where possibly volume growth could come in double digits. And that is something which would possibly take care of the price increase in the crude or maybe other input cost to a little extent.